little deep sea fishing in the Bay Area. Can the oil pull out a couple of points from the Shark Tank? We get you set for the Oilers and the Sharks on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Hello, everybody. Welcome inside the EST Global HQ. Gazzola and Salas with you on the pregame show. Brought to you, as always, by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Get in on the action. Join the conversation. Text us 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat as well. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Nanso, good evening. How are you?
I'm good. You
are? I feel like this, like do I have to move for the on-camera purposes, or am I good right here?
You're good there, I think.
You.
No one's messing around with the camera. Don't touch anything in here, people. Please.
You know who's
And I'm not blaming you, Tom.
You know who fidgets?
Who?
Coop.
The Coop. Kubasa.
Always tinkering. He tinkers.
Oh, he's tinkering with stuff. But
that's okay.
Yeah, you were a little off to the left, but now I think you're good.
I literally slid over at the desk. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're all good. Edmonton, 43-26-5. San Jose, a league worst 20-44-10. It is game number 75. On the schedule, we will have Curtis Pashelka from the Bay Area News Group to join us and discuss these Sharks, who we have not seen in months. 3 games in the last couple of weeks between the Oilers and the Sharks. It should mean 6 points.
Should.
But
that's why you play the game. In the famous words of Yager.
Yeah. Edmonton 11-1 in the last 12 meetings with San Jose. You know which game they lost?
Yeah, the one you went crazy.
That's the one. November 9th, 2023. Pardon me.
I'm saying it right now. There's no way they lose.
You can't lose this.
No, there's
no
way. There's no way, man.
No way.
There's no way. Look at, like, you read, you're going to do the lineups, but that Ecuador in San Jose, whew, I mean, I want to talk about it too, the goaltending. Whew. Like,
well,
if they lose this one, Hernan might light a dart in the studio post. I got him with me, man.
It's not like we have smoke detectors in this old industrial office building that used to be a music venue.
It'd be perfect if I had a window right here that you can kind of open, so I can just blow the smoke that way.
Yeah,
right at you, Tom. But, yeah, we'll see what happens. But I can't see them losing this game.
Me neither, buddy. Me neither. Although no mercy, as I said, going into the day, and that looks like that will be the motto for the Oilers tonight, which is ideal. Let's get to those starting lineups like Hernan brought up. Unless he wants to throw out the question. You want to save the question of the night?
I can throw it on now.
Okay, throw it out.
Gives people time to ponder.
All
right.
Assess.
If you notice on the thummy, Jake Wallman's there. You know why, Tom?
I have no idea why.
Because he played for the Sharks.
Right? Come
on. They acquired him. 50 games with the Sharks, 32 points. Now, he's played 12 games with the Edmonton Oilers, 6 points. He's got a +5 rating. I want to know, what grade would you give Jake Wallman in his short time with the Oilers? 12 games in. Give me a letter. A to F. Could be A-, be a B-.
Yeah.
Let me know what you thought of Jake Wallman. Let us know on the nasty chat and the inbox, 780-218-9999. Tom, I guess I'll go to you first.
Oh, thanks, man.
What grade, bro?
I love how you throw out the bruh. I would give him like a B+.
Okay, we're on the same wavelength. I went B+ too.
Yeah, I don't want to be way too positive, but positive for good reason. The numbers are good.
He started hot.
He did.
And then he tailed off a bit. Better last game, so I think B+ is perfect.
Keep in mind, and yeah, B+, I'm glad we're thinking the same here, but keep in mind, he's had to flip from the left side to the right side and back to the left side and the right side. And he hasn't done it with any complaints. He's just gone in there and done his job, blocks a lot of shots. Now he does have a penchant for some bad giveaways.
Yes.
Usually they don't end up in the back of the net. That one against Seattle was atrocious.
Yeah.
So bad. But for the most part, pretty good. Good addition. He has bolstered the blue line.
Yeah, he's been good.
Especially in the wake of missing Matthias Ekholm. So B+. What would you say?
What say you, nasties?
780-218-9999. Get at us in the nasty chat. Hey, can you give me the board? I like this board.
Yes.
I want to throw this out there right now.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
Oh, JMO's the best. All right, let's get to starting lineups. Brought to you by South Fort Chef. Buy now and save 0% financing OAC up to 72 months or save up to $8,000 on 2025 Silverado 1500s. It's that time of year for seasonal tire change service. Mention that EST sent you and receive an on-rim tire change for $59.95 plus tax. We're also giving a big discount on inspections when you get your tires changed. See dealer for details at www.southfortchev.com. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. Great folks over at South Fort Chev. They are awesome, and they'll take care of you. And just mention that we sent you. Lovely. Let's go to the Oilers for tonight. Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Arvidsson. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins between Kasperi Kapanen and Zach Hyman. Matthias Janmark between Jeff Skinner and Connor Brown. Adam Henrique with Max Jones and Corey Perry. On defense, the aforementioned Jake Wallman paired up with Evan Bouchard. Question of the night, one more time. What grade would you give Jake Wallman in his time as an Oiler? That one via the Latino Heat. Text us. Get into the nasty chat. Second pairing, Nurse with Stetcher. Third pairing, Kulak with Emberson. For the San Jose Sharks tonight, Macklin Celebrini with Tyler Toffoli and Will Smith. Alex Wenberg William Eklund having a nice season. He's flanking Alex Wenberg, who's having an okay season, with Colin Graff on the right side. Ty Dellandrea between Carl Grunstrom and Cameron Lund, not Carmen. Zach Ostapchuk with Barclay Gaudreau and Noah Gregor, nephew of Jason. Nice guy. Mario Ferraro with Timothy Liljegren. Lucas Carlson with Jack Thompson. Henry Thrun with Pickles, Mark-Edward Vlasic. And if you're going, who the hell are half those defensemen? You're not alone. You really aren't. Maybe we'll learn a little bit from Curtis Pashelka about them. Your starting goalies for tonight, 32-year-old Calvin Pickard, 19-8 with 1 OT loss, 269 goals against average, 899 save percentage in 31 games this season. Arguably the best backup in the league. Pickard versus San Jose lifetime, 3-1-1, 339 goals against average, 892 save percentage in 5 appearances versus the Sharks over the course of his career. And at the other end of the rink, it will be 25-year-old Georgi Romanov, 0-2-0 on the season, 498 goals against average, 829 save percentage in 3 games this year. And if you're going, Tom, Hernan, who the hell is Georgi Romanov? Again, you would not be alone. We'll ask Curtis Pashelka more about him. However, there are probably some that are like, Georgi Romanov, I remember him April 15th, 2024 in that game against Edmonton when he made his NHL debut. You would be correct. Romanov made his first career appearance in the NHL that night in a San Jose loss to the Oilers. Connor McDavid picked up assist number 100 in that game, feeding Zach Hyman, who beats Romanov on a 2-on-1. Romanov has a 229 goals against average, 938 save percentage in the lone appearance he's had versus Edmonton over the course of his very, very brief NHL career. Georgi Romanov has played how many games, Hernan? Just
2.
close. 3 this year.
Yeah.
5 total.
Okay.
This will be his 6th NHL game. Still looking for win number 1.
I just like saying Georgie.
Georgie. He's from Yekaterinburg, Russia.
Nice. I remember Askarov in the first game was outstanding.
Yes, he was.
The only reason it was close.
Agreed. Absolutely agree. So, those are your starting netminers. Pickard versus Romanov. I stand with what I've said the last couple of days. No mercy, play Pickard. play them again on Saturday, but the more you look at this San Jose lineup, you're like, ugh.
Yeah, but just secure it, right?
Secure it. Get those 2 points.
And
hey, if you're up big, put Rodrigue back in there for the last 20 minutes of the night.
One game is not going to break or make Olivier Rodrigue. So and Pickard, the whole being tired stuff. I'm
not buying it.
I'm not buying that. Come on,
I'm not.
These
buying
guys are pros. You're going to be tired because you played 5 straight games.
No. You want to talk about a team that's struggling? Boston down 4-1. Minute 57 left. Montreal just scored again.
Is that going to be 10 straight losses?
That will be 10 straight losses.
Yeah, I'll throw you another trivia.
Or winless in 10, as they like to say.
Kill McCarr. This is for the Nasties because, Tom, I just told you this. Kill McCarr just scored his 30th goal of the season. Let that sink in. A defenseman scored 30 goals. A defenseman. I want our Nasties to send in who was the last defenseman who scored 30 goals. Hint, hint, wink, wink. He was once an Oiler.
I was wrong. I thought someone else had reached the 30-goal plateau, but they were quite close.
Missed it by one.
Missed it by one that year. Had a monster season, but didn't ultimately get it. All right. Text us 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat. Let's get to the Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy Injury Report at Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. We treat you like the pros. That's because Crusher's there. Our multidisciplinary team includes sports medicine physicians along with highly skilled physiotherapists, strength and conditioning coaches, and massage therapists. If you have a nagging pain you'd like to see go away, book your consultation today at www.advantagesportsmed.ca. All right, are you ready? Because this is going to be a long one today.
Let's go.
Woof. Matthias Ekholm, day-to-day. Maintenance. Stuart Skinner, day-to-day. Upper body. Connor McDavid, day-to-day. Lower body. John Klingberg, day-to-day. Undisclosed. Trent Frederick, although he's skating with the team, IR ankle. Good sign there, though. Alec Regula, IR knee. Evander Kane, LTIR abdominal surgery and knee surgery. Also skating with the team. That's good. As for the Sharks, Shakir Mukhamadullin, day-to-day, upper body. Vinny Desharnais, the former Oiler, day-to-day, upper body. Oh, yeah, says Hernan. Jimmy Schultz, day-to-day, undisclosed. Jan Ruda, IR lower body. And Logan Couture, IR groin. He's been out all season. Let's get to some text. 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. Big Mike getting in there says, Big Mike and Madge in Utah. We're here rooting for the Clubbers to take down the Kings, wearing our Oil jersey loud and proud. I love it, Big Mike. Thank you for sending that in. Enjoy Salt Lake City. Can't say I've had a good time there. I've been there a couple of times, though. And by all accounts, it looks like it's a fun arena to go to. You need Curtis's number? I thought I sent... Do you save these when I send them to you?
No, I delete everything.
You shouldn't. What is going on?
Sorry, man.
All right. Can you get to some text while I text you Curtis's number, which you should already have?
Well, a lot of people have the correct answer for who's the last player to score 30. As for the question of the night, what grade would you give Wallman 12 games in? Jack says B+. Zulo says 31 blocks, +5, 6 points, 21 minutes, B+. Honest Hansel says B+. There's another one here. Profane says, I'll say a B. So he's slightly higher than us. And yes, it was Mike Green, the last player to score 30.
That is correct.
Unreal.
Juan got it. Joel, all caps as always. Hello, Joel. Says, I don't know. They like to lose to lower teams and give them minimum effort, and the playoffs are around the corner.
I can't take it anymore.
That's Joel right now. Keep it positive. Please add thank you, says Hernan, the Latino Heat Salas. All right. Second of 4 meetings between these two teams. Edmonton has absolutely mopped the floor with the San Jose Sharks. They've won 6 of the last 7 at the Shark Tank. Edmonton this season versus Pacific Division teams are 12-7-1. The Sharks are 4-12-3 against Pacific Division teams. All-time Oil versus the Sharks, 65-54-8 with 12 ties. like I mentioned earlier in the show, 11-1 in the last 12 games versus San Jose. And all-time at San Jose, the Oilers have a 29-30-5 record with 5 ties. The Sharks come into this one 3-6-1 in the last 10 games. Keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat if you happen to be watching on YouTube. If you're listening on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, of course, EdmontonSportsTalk.com's audio player. We appreciate you. Like, share, tell your friends, all that good stuff as we welcome in, again, friend of the show, Curtis Pashelka from the Bay Area News Group, ready for the Mercury News. Curtis, how's San Jose? Because there's snow on the ground still in Edmonton. As you know, you've been here many times. It was cold, but warm temperatures and spring-like times are right around the corner. What's going down in San Jose right now?
Like usual, 65 degrees and sunny. And, it's been all right. A little chilly at night. I don't want to complain too much, but we're getting by here in San Jose.
Oh, thank God. It's still jacket weather. I'm just kidding. I'm teeing you up for this. My bad, Curtis.
A little sweaty weather. That's all right. All right.
You'll be just fine. All right. When we talk about tonight's game, the Sharks 3 wins in the last 11. Are there any bright spots around this club right now? If so, what are they? And let us know.
Well, I would say the biggest bright spot is they're in line to have the best odds to win the draft lottery again. That's probably the biggest thing. But there's been some individual highlights here. I think obviously. You look at the 2 rookies, the kind of, sort of the top prospects, the top players in the Sharks, Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith are both having really good rookie years. I mean, Macklin's kind of right from the start, he really looked like an exceptional player in the league, and Smith really more so in the second half of the year where he started to come on. So that's probably the biggest positive of the Sharks is to seeing those guys develop. And, they've had a couple other young guys sort of, take a step forward here. Shakira Bukabadula, who's injured right now, was playing really well. Sort of stepped into that top deep pair alignment when Jake Wallman got traded to the Oilers. And he's played pretty well since that point. But, for the most part, this is a team that's still in a pretty deep rebuild and kind of just looking for ways to get better each day and try to go into the offseason with a bit of momentum.
Hey, Curtis, we're almost reaching a month since the trade deadline. San Jose was pretty active. For you, Curtis, what kind of grade would you give Mike Grier and the San Jose Sharks management for what they did at the deadline?
I would say overall, maybe a B. I understood kind of the Jake Wallman trade to some degree. They got a conditional first-round pick back from the Oilers in that deal. That certainly helps. In terms of what gives Mike Grier some flexibility, what he wants to do with that pick. I was a little surprised at the Zetterlund trade to Ottawa. The Sharks are very high on Zach Ostachuk, a local product for you guys. They think he's got a bright future here, could project maybe to be a 3C. It's been a little bit of a tough go for him so far. In San Jose, I think he's still getting his feet wet, maybe getting used to the NHL pace, and especially this time of year where so many teams are kind of ramping up for the playoffs. So it's been a bit of a struggle for him, but I think the Sharks are pretty, excited about his future. Just overall, I think people when you grade Mike or try to evaluate what he's done so far, you really kind of have to look at the next step for this team. Like, what's Mike's next move? That sort of helps things make sense. Like last year when they traded Tomas Hertl to the Golden Knights and got a nice prospect, David Edstrom, and a first-round pick. We were like, I was kind of curious you would trade him to the division rival like that. But it ended up kind of you turn that player and that pick into a guy like Yaroslav Askarov, who's certainly looks like kind of the goalie of the future here for the Sharks. So I think that's how you kind of have to look at it with Mike. Is like, what's the next step? What's his sort of grand plan? How is he going to help this thing sort of move along maybe a little bit quicker than maybe some people might expect. So I would kind of go about it that way when looking at what Mike's done.
Curtis Pashelka joining us from the Bay Area News Group as we get you set for the Oilers and Sharks. Second of 4 meetings this year. They're going to face each other a lot in the last couple of weeks of the regular season here. Hey, Curtis, I know you talked about Will Smith. I know we talk about Macklin Celebrini, Macamadoulin. William Eklund's having a pretty good year. You look at his stats. He's got 55 points. He's a younger guy, 22 years old. What kind of player are they getting in Eklund? How is he developing? Would he be able to provide a formidable trio with Smith and with Celebrini going forward? How would you assess him?
Yeah, I would say he's trying to have a really positive, second full season in the American League. The Sharks really kind of took their time with Eklund in terms of developing him. After they drafted him, they sent him back to Sweden for a year. And then the next year after that, they let him basically play in the American League for a full season. And last year was really kind of his first full year in the league. And I think the Sharks are pretty happy with how he sort of developed and rounded out his game. You might see him tonight against the Draisaitl line. I think they're going to try to match Wenberg up in that stance. So that'd be a big test for him to try to match up against such a potent line and obviously a dangerous centerman who's leading the league in goals. So I think the Sharks are happy with his development. Certainly there's nights where some are better than others with him, but you sort of have to keep in mind his age and how challenging sort of this time is for him and for a lot of other Sharks players right now. So I think the Sharks are happy with how he's progressed here in year 2, and it's a matter of always going to go from here in terms of year 3 and how he continues to sort of round out his game.
Curtis, we're going to see Georgi Romanov make his third career NHL start. His NHL debut came almost exactly a year ago. It was on April 15th, 2024 here in Edmonton. Mop-up duty for Romanov. What can you tell us about this young goaltender?
Well, I think he's another player that the Sharks have tried to take their time with in terms of developing him. He spent basically most of the last couple of years in the American League with the San Jose Barracuda, and so he's getting an opportunity now, especially after Vitek Vanacek was traded to the Devils there, not to the Devils, I'm sorry, to the Florida Panthers, and Askarov being injured right now too and missing a bunch of time. So he's getting an opportunity right now. His last start in Los Angeles did not go well at all. The Sharks lost that one 8-1, but you can't really pin that all on him. I mean, he looks very raw. He's getting used to the NHL level. The more reps he gets, the better. But certainly a huge test again tonight for him facing the Oilers. And we'll see. We'll see how he bounces back from that start in LA and how he's able to sort of manage that and process this. And we'll see if the skaters in front of him also do a little bit better job too.
Yeah. I watched that game against LA last Sunday. It was not pretty, and I would not pin it on Romanov at all. Okay, speaking of Sharks goaltenders, you mentioned Askarov. I know he was highly coveted, a Nashville prospect for a while. I know Oilers fans loved the tantalizing possibility of him somehow winding up in Edmonton. Obviously, that didn't happen. How has he come along? You mentioned he's nicked up right now. I don't think he's played a ton of hockey this season, but he looked good in that one game against the Oilers. So how would you assess the development of Yaroslav Askarov so far?
Well, I would say, yeah, that's exactly right. I do think, he's missed a lot of time. He's been out for about 6 weeks now. He's supposed to be available to play this weekend for the American League team when they're in Colorado this weekend. So we'll get a better idea of kind of where he's at right now. But, overall, I think the Sharks are kind of happy with how he's kind of coming along. When you're right, when he was in the NHL there for a couple of spells this year, so he didn't really look out of place. He missed that game in Edmonton, obviously really stands out. Some other starts he's had have been pretty impressive too. There's also been, some downtimes too, as far as the games here and there where maybe things got away from him. So it's tough to really judge goalies to some extent when the Sharks are, really in the transition phase right now, and the defense is as banged up as it is, and how many players they've lost over the course of the last few weeks. So tough to really judge him, but I think the Sharks are happy with how he's coming along and excited to see him maybe jump into that number one role for the Sharks next season. I guess we'll see on that. But I think the Sharks certainly feel he has that potential.
Yeah, he looked great in that first game against Edmonton earlier in the season. No doubt about that. Curtis Pashelka joining us from the Bay Area News Group. All right, I'm going to read you a text from one of our viewers, Curtis. It's Coyote Steve. He texted in after I gave out like a bunch of stats where the Oilers have, like a few other teams, dominated the Sharks in recent years. Coyote Steve writes, I love when you give all the reasons the Oilers should win. LOL. That means excuses after a loss. So, with that being said, there are those who are pessimistic still here. Curtis, if the Sharks beat the Oilers tonight, what has to happen?
Well, I mean, first of all, it starts with how they defend. You know, how detailed they are in their own zone. Are they breaking out the puck well, or are they turning it over in their own zone, turning it over in the neutral zone, and feeding that all in his offense? That's going to be a big key for the Sharks tonight. Just playing fast, being efficient with the puck, just not feeding into the Oilers' chances, and making it, at least if they're going to get opportunities, at least make them come 200 feet. Kind of thing. So really, the Sharks can't shoot themselves in the other foot. You know, certainly be nice for the Sharks to maybe get on the a power play goal or two, and shut down that Oilers power play as well. So special teams will play a role too, and then maybe just learning how to win. The Sharks they really struggled at times in the third period this year in terms of protecting leads. So if the Sharks do have a lead in the third period tonight, is how they respond to that, and if they can kind of slow down the Oilers here, even with, how banged up they are. So a lot of things have to go right, but not impossible. And, I think the Sharks are, they're competing hard. One thing you say about the Sharks this year is that, even though, they have a handful of lopsided losses this year, they have generally been a more competitive team top to bottom throughout the year, at least compared to last season. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And, if Celebrating has a big night and guys like Eklund and a few other players, we'll see what happens, especially on that back end. So they need a lot of guys to step up here because it's really inexperienced back there.
Yeah. Poor Pickles, Marc-Edouard Vlasic. How is he doing really quickly? Is he just kind of coasting to the end here?
Well, I mean, he still has a love for the game. Still loves coming to the rink, and even though the results haven't been, he's been, these 6 straight years for him being out of the playoffs here. So, he's a guy that the Sharks sort of lean on, at least for experience. He doesn't play a ton of minutes, maybe 15, 16 minutes a game here. Well, maybe a little bit more tonight, considering Luka Badula is out. But you're just a guy, he recently set the NHL record, all-time record for blocked shots. So when he's at his best, he has a good stick. He's moving his feet. He's pending plays. So we'll see what happens here. I think. We can talk to Marc-Edouard. He still has a fun coming to the rink, even though the results haven't been there the last few years. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the off season here with him. But he's a guy that tends to have a smile on his face, even though the results haven't been there the last 2 years.
Yeah, he's been a good player in the league for a long time. So we'll see if him and the rest of the Sharks can surprise the Oilers tonight. Curtis, it's always a pleasure when you hop on with us. We really appreciate it. And bundle up, okay? 65, my goodness. Hang in there, all right, buddy?
Yeah, well, a little best of 3 between the Oilers and Sharks here at the end of the season, so we'll see.
Okay. Well, you know what? If you're coming up here, we'll crank up the heat for you, okay?
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good, Tom.
All right, there's Curtis Pashalka, always great, out of the Bay Area News Group, writing for the Mercury News in San Jose. Long-time Sharks beat writer and all-around good guy. Good to have him on. Big thank you to Curtis for hopping on tonight. I had to get Coyote Steve's text in there via the nasty chat. I knew Curtis would enjoy that. And he's not the only one who's thinking
I know, but like Tom, like this team is turned that corner, and yes, sometimes the really good teams, the great teams in the league, drop games to bad teams. But like every time the Oilers this season play a team that's not in the playoffs, it's like, the Oilers. It's like,
They got their asses kicked by Anaheim.
Sure, but I'm impressed by the negativity of it at all. Like this team is not 2018 Oilers. Like, let's have a little faith in them. You've seen
at least tonight.
You've seen the other side, the lineup. Tom just read it twice to you. Yeah.
Let me read the defense one more time of the Sharks.
Go ahead.
Mario Ferraro and Timothy Liljegren.
Ooh.
Lucas Carlson with Jack Thompson. Henry Thrun with Marc-Edouard Vlasic.
Who?
Henry Thrun.
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 If Cass is listening, his camera just went dark, so he might have to reconnect.
Okay, we'll get Cass recalibrated there. Anyway, text us in regard to the question of the night. We're having fun. It's an 8:30 start for crying out loud. The Oilers and the Sharks. Hey?
Did you get an app in?
No, I activated today. It was great.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. No, today was good. Today was, call it a split shift or whatever, but made the most of it. That's for sure. And it was sunny out. Even though it was cold, it was very sunny, which I appreciate. Bring out that Alberta sun, and then the heat will follow soon. So.
A little deceiving, though, right, Tom?
It was deceiving, absolutely. But
I thought it was beautiful out. I walked out. I was like, ooh.
Why am I in a freezer?
Yeah, why am I?
But by the weekend, it's going to be nice. All right. Question of the night one more time was, what letter grade would you give Jake Wallman in his time as an Oiler? 12 games, 6 points, a goal and 5 assists, +5, lots of block shots.
Yeah.
Has had some bad giveaways, but we want to hear from you. 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. Are we ready to bring Cass on?
Cass
thumbs up from
go.
The big man. He's got his party cardi on. He's ready to go.
Yes, he does.
Oh, yeah. He's thumbs up.
There he is.
Let's go. Matt Kassian, the Grizzly Bear, as Belzy likes to call him, our game analyst. Hi, Cass. How you doing?
Hey, buddy. I'm good. This is late. This is really late.
It certainly is.
This is weird.
I know.
One of those late ones, but I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Like you, John, I enjoyed the sunshine today. I know it wasn't like warm or hot, but it was nice just to be outside. I had to walk to the bus stop and help pick up the girls today.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nice just to have a little bit of sunshine on the face. Felt a little more human, felt a little more alive. We'll be happy when it continues to warm up this weekend. And hopefully we continue to be warmed by a winning Edmonton Oilers hockey club that hopefully can keep this thing going here tonight against the San Jose Sharks.
Little tease with that, son. We'll get the heat cranked up right away here outdoors in the greater Edmonton area. Okay, Cass. The question of the night via Hernan is, what grade would you give Jake Wallman in his time as an Oiler? 12 games, 6 points. He got his first goal the other night in a nice clapper right through Aiden Hill in Vegas. What would you say, and how would you assess it, and what grade would you give him?
Yeah, this is a little of a tricky one for me because I feel he's been good at times. Like he was really good that Vegas game, really good that Dallas game, and then he's had some struggles in some of the games as well. So I gotta give him a passing grade. I probably got to go with a solid B. Like he hasn't blown me away, but he's been pretty good. He's been pretty good. Like he's been generally fairly steady. I think we saw a couple of cracks and struggles for a few games when the whole team was struggling, but overall, I would say he's found ways to contribute, which has been really important. And yeah, I'm giving him a solid B.
That's pretty good. How much different, if you've noticed at all, is he on the left side compared to the right side? Because that might be part of some of the tough nights he's had.
That definitely could be part of it. He's better on the left side, which doesn't surprise me. He's a lefty, which, I mean, they needed a right-handed defenseman more than they needed a left-handed defenseman. That being said, he does study that out, and he has at times been okay over there and playing on that side. So, yeah, I mean, he hasn't been horrible on the right side, but I think you're right. Some of those struggles are well playing on the left. And that's just natural for most defensemen. When you're playing on your off wing, to have the whole ice to pass to, you have to open up your hips, open up your hands, open up your body. And that just takes an extra second or a half second, split second, quarter of a second, whatever it is in the NHL, where you oftentimes are under pressure and guys are not slow. That's all it takes to take away passing lanes and that little bit of extra time. So it is a challenge for guys to play their offside. So I don't begrudge him that. If he ends up playing on the right side in the playoffs, Tom, and he ends up at like a B-, I think from an overall, like how we rate him standpoint, I think we'd be pretty happy with that. Yeah. Really, I would. Maybe you wouldn't. Hernan might be losing it. I don't know. Hernan, what do you think?
No, I went, what did we say, Tom? B?
B. We both went with a B+.
Like he started well. And then, but like Cass alluded to, like there's that stretch, like 2-3 games where he was struggling. No, it could have been he was on his offside and much better last game. So I think around the B grade is I think where a lot of people would have him, because there's been a lot of good and there's been some bad though.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, Cass, you ready for Game Changers?
Let's do it.
All right, Game Changers brought to you as always by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent top producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He is community driven and he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. So check him out, damonbunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. He is good. He is efficient. He's friendly. He's a pro. If you're looking to buy a place, he'll get you something. If you're looking to sell your place, he'll get you your money. He's that good, and he does it quickly. DamonBunting.com or Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Cass knows Damon and the Buntings very well and can vouch for him, just like us. All right, Cass, number 1 tonight. Sending a message, part 1.
Part 1. Yeah, part 1. There's a couple of these. Part 1, I think Knobloch decided to send the Edmonton Oilers a message. So this is the first message sent by starting Calvin Pickard tonight. And the message is, do not take this game lightly. We are here to win. You know, it would have been in some ways easy to start Rodrigue, young goalie, playing worst team in the league, give him a shot. You're going to play. It's not like it's a back-to-back, but a fairly quick turnaround to LA where you play them in a weekend game. So you could look at this and say, well, we don't want to continue just to roll Pickard too much. We don't want to play him too much. Let's throw in the other guy. But I think the mindset from the coaching staff in looking at this game is saying, if we start Rodrigue, there may be a few more passengers than if we start Pickard, because what that could communicate, even if we're not trying to, what it could communicate is that we are taking this game lightly, that we are anticipating this is an automatic win. Yep. Mentally upstairs, it could affect the players. So I like that they're doing this. I like that they're starting Pickard. And again, I think it's just trying to communicate to the team, we are here to win. We are here to make sure that we get another couple points, that we heading into the game against the Los Angeles Kings on the weekend, like we are firing on all cylinders. We're not taking the night off. And Tom, I think that's the right message to send, and I'm happy they're sending it.
I'm very much in line with everything you said, and I outlined it myself yesterday, so I'm with you. A follow-up to that, if they're up big going into the third, would it be insulting to put Ollie Rodrigue in?
Yep, but you might do it anyways. I mean, like, it would be. Like, look, we're putting our backup in, or the backup to our backup.
That's right.
So it would be, it'd be a little dig at them, but maybe you do it anyways. Maybe you tell, just concussion protocol them, right? Be like, he's got to go sit in the quiet room. Yeah, I got a little thing bugging him. Then it's not as bad. I don't think they would, even if they're up big. I don't think they would, because I think they want to keep that same thing. We're not going to sit back mentality. Right. Like, even if they're up big, I think it's still going to be like, hey, let's go, let's build. Yeah.
Don't leave anything out there, and don't leave any glimmer of hope in the eyes of the San Jose Sharks tonight. That was point number 1 on Game Changers, which is sending a message, part 1. If only you could guess what the second bullet point on Game Changers is tonight. Cass, sending a message, part 2.
Yeah, well, you play the San Jose Sharks a whole bunch of times. You might as well send a message early that, just go home. Go home. That's the message you want.
Did we lose Cass?
I think we lost him.
Oh, no.
He's frozen.
He's frozen.
And it is like,
he's coming back.
Don't even try. Don't bother showing up. Don't worry about this. Like, just.
Uh-oh.
All right, we'll reconnect with Cass. He's having some technical difficulties. Let me know when he's good to go.
Will do.
All right, 780-218-9999. Just jump in, and so I will read some texts in the meantime.
I think he's good now.
You think he's good now?
Cass, you there?
Okay. Before Cass continues or goes back into sending a message part 2, I just want to. Joelle in all caps is telling me to shut up because it's going to be 10:30 where she is when this game starts. Sorry, Joelle. I know you're out east. And then Norm in a combine says, Cass always has great hair. Him and Tom are keeping the Swedish hair cream in business. I'm onto Swedish paste because Chantal run out of hair cream. So she gave me a little thing of the hair cream that she had like as a sample, but she sold me the paste and she's like, I'll have the hair cream for you next time. But your hair looks formidable.
You know what?
Always,
I'm a paste guy, not a cream guy. I'm a matte.
The other way
paste.
around.
I don't like too much shine, and I like the paste a little bit more than the cream.
Hernan just gave me a funny look.
That's just me.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's go into number 2. Sending a message part 2. Cass, you started on that diatribe, and then it cut out and froze. So you're good to go. You're nice and clear.
Yeah. Well, I think pretty simple. And it to me is that you're going to play these guys a whole bunch of time.
Yes.
You want the points. Coming out early and giving them no glimmer of hope is really, really important. Like sending that message early to the San Jose Sharks is important that, these 3 games that you're going to play us here down the stretch, you have no hope. You have no hope.
I like that.
Because if you give them any kind of a glimmer, it is a young team. You let San Jose score first. You let them hang around. They very well might stick in a game, score a late goal to tie it, and take it to overtime, and maybe win it there. Like, they are going to be scrappy and hang around. And for them being the worst team in the league, like, they've beaten some of the good teams in the league this year. They've beaten some of the best teams in the league this year. I can't remember if they beat Washington, but I know they beat Toronto. I think they beat
LA.
Winnipeg. Beat LA. Czech, I'm fairly certain they beat Winnipeg too. Like, they've had a couple games where they have managed to surprise some of those top end teams. So this isn't a team that you can sleep on heading in, and not a team that you want to have a lot of hope coming into a stretch where you're going to play them 3 times in a not very long period of time. So yeah, just crushing that hope and those dreams early and often, Tom, is really important. Send that message early if you're the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay, here are some of their highlight victories, let's call them, this season. They beat LA on October 29th. Then they beat New Jersey. I'd say that's a good win. November 10th. They would go on to beat LA again in late November. They beat the Capitals in Washington. Was it overtime? Yeah, they beat the Caps in Washington. They've beaten St. Louis in St. Louis. They beat Tampa. They beat New Jersey again, so they swept the season series with the Devils. They've also beaten Toronto at Toronto.
Twice. Yeah, beat them twice.
Yeah, they won the season series there. Actually, Toronto is their last win. And they have 3 wins in the last 11 games. So there are some good teams that they have beaten this year, including arguably the best team. I think Winnipeg's the best team right now. Post to post. Washington's been right up there. I know Dallas is surging, but they have beaten a couple of good teams this year. So you better lay a licking on these guys and don't give them any hope early. So sending a message part 2, Cass, makes a lot of sense. All right. It's Game Changers with our game analyst, Matt Kassian. Game Changers, as always, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting now with the agency. Point number 1, sending message part 1. Point number 2, sending message part 2. Point number 3, sending message part 3. I'm just kidding. Wallman's revenge.
It is Wallman's revenge. It could have been. It could have been. I debated, Tom, sending a message part 3, and then talking about Wallman's first game back in San Jose and how he needs to send a message to the San Jose Sharks that they should never have traded him. You should have never traded me.
You can't tell me he's happy as hell to be out of there.
Oh no, he's not. He's not mad at all.
Right,
no,
right.
There is zero anger for him moving from a team that's going to be a bottom feeder for a couple of teams here, quite possibly, and not a predatory Shark, to one of the teams that has a chance to do some damage in the playoffs and potentially win a Stanley Cup. But it's even with that, and even though really it's only half a season because he was with Detroit the prior 2 seasons, so it's only really half a season with the San Jose Sharks, it still is sweet to go back to a team that traded you, to play against your teammates, and to want to stick it to them. It just is. It just is. Like it. I don't care what team you played for, what circumstances you got traded, whether it was good circumstances and you were sad that you had to leave, or it was like you hated where you were and you were happy to leave. Like whatever the circumstance, generally speaking, you really want to beat the teams that you played for. Like money on the board, 100%. And that's where, the game means more to you. So you put some cash up there for the team fund, for team dinners and parties and events and that sort of thing. Like and you do that when you're trying to be like, hey guys, this really means a lot to me. And I don't doubt that that's what Jake Wallman is doing today. And, as you said, and Hernan had astutely asked with the question of the night, how do we grade him? I'm hoping that he brings that B plus energy again tonight, right? Like it's an opportunity for him to shine against a team that really struggles, and I'm sure for him, again, you love playing teams you played for, so an opportunity for Jake Wallman to have a night tonight.
And so, you want to add anything to Game Changers tonight? No, he's tired. He needs a nap, Cass.
I do too. I should have taken one, but I had the kids this afternoon. My wife had a haircut, so there was no nappy for me. So I got the toothpicks ready just to give her one of these.
Oh yeah.
And we'll be good.
Yes, we will be. The Oilers hopefully make quick work of the San Jose Sharks. If not, all hell will break loose, as we know, and we've had that experience before, unfortunately. So we'll see if sending a message part 1, sending a message part 2, and Wallman's revenge can all come to be tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Cass, as always, great stuff, my friend. We'll catch up with you on the postgame show.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, there is our game analyst, Matt Kassian, helping us get set for the Oilers and the Sharks. Hernan, what you got? What you got, big boy?
A nap. I'm pretty refreshed right now.
You are.
I just had nothing to add. Like you guys broke it down so great that I just thought if I did say anything, I would just be saying, kind of repeating it. So I just left it at that. I'm just looking forward to this domination by the Oilers tonight. We'll be over probably 25 minutes in. Then Then we're just going to coast through the night, Tommy, and we'll have a nice and relaxed and happy post-game show and get the hell home. Because we got to do this all again tomorrow.
We certainly do.
And Saturday. And Monday.
Yep.
Monday, 8:30 again, Thomas.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I don't know why people are so worried about this game, man. Like, have you been watching the Oilers this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've dropped a few games too.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
Okay, who have they lost to that's been like a basement?
this year?
Anaheim?
Yes.
Okay, that's one. Give me another one.
Seattle.
Yeah, but that game was a given.
What?
Yeah, like yeah. No. I don't even count that.
They lost to Chicago.
Did they?
Oh yeah.
When?
Second game of the year, October 12th. 5-2.
Okay, but that's different. They were struggling.
They really were.
All right. Well, they lost to Buffalo.
They certainly did.
So that's 3.
They lost to
Philadelphia.
Yes.
That's 4. They lost to the Penguinos. But they did beat them once.
They lost to... Ooh.
Yeah, it's not like it's a lot.
You know what? They've actually only lost to a couple of bad teams.
Yeah.
Like they did lose to Montreal, but Montreal's had a really nice year.
Montreal's unreal.
Montreal's a playoff team.
Yeah.
They've beaten Nashville. They swept the season series against teams. They didn't lose to Utah. They've actually done pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, they lost to Vancouver, but Vancouver had some good moments.
Yeah, but Vancouver's like, I mean, Vancouver's having a down year, but when the Oilers were playing them, they were right there. They were a playoff team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like for everybody saying the Oilers always drop these games, we can only name what, 4?
Yep.
From legitimate basement dweller teams. So,
Chicago, Seattle, which isn't really a basement dweller.
Buffalo,
Anaheim.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 4. Well, they lost an OT to Detroit.
Yeah, but Detroit was just, was that when Todd came in?
Yes, it was January 30th they lost that game. Remember that was here in Edmonton. That was Klingberg's debut. Really quickly. That's what a surprise. I just went through the entire game log. So 4 to bottom dwellers.
Yeah.
Total.
That's it. And that's where it's going to stop.
I hope you're right. Out of town scores, 9 games on the schedule tonight. Montreal beats Boston 4-1. The Bruins,
Oy.
boy is right, 0-9-1 in their last 10. That stinks. Ottawa with a big 2-1 win over Tampa. That's a huge 2 points as they look to solidify their spot in the postseason. Montreal, by the way, 2 points up on the Rangers. Montreal holds down wild card spot number 2 in the Eastern Conference. The Avalanche whooping the Columbus Blue Jackets. 1:49 left there. 7-3 is the score. St. Louis leads Pitt 4-3. 6 minutes left in the third. Dallas up 4-1 on Nashville. No surprise. 8 minutes left in the third there. Utah and LA, no score. 14 minutes left in the second period. Calgary and Anaheim, 1-1 after 1. You got Vegas hosting Winnipeg.
Ooh.
Donuts on the board, 4 minutes in. And then Edmonton and San Jose wind down the night. Text us, 780-218-9999. We're going to see Georgi Romanov in net for San Jose. Georgie! Against Calvin Pickard. And we'll see if the Oilers can pick up a couple of crucial points, show no mercy, and move on to LA in what will be a very interesting game. I think that's a astute way of describing it.
I like this one. No wonder Jasmine broke her foot because she's frustrated with the Canucks, so she kicked the door at her place.
I knew it.
I knew it.
I knew it. Touche.
Oh, the Knuckleheads, eh?
Yep. Jared from Modern Measure texted me earlier today, and he's like, dude, are you okay? Did you get into an accident or something? I was like, what are you talking about? And his girlfriend, Kim, said that she saw a social media post of me saying, I'm okay. But it was actually Jasmine's post on her Instagram stories that I had reposted. So Jasmine, get well soon. We want you to get well. But Jasmine was great. Feisty day yesterday on the Hangout.
On a positive note, Holloway doesn't have a point yet tonight. What a bum. But
Sure.
St. Louis could win.
He's going to get 30
straight.
this year.
Could win their 11th straight. Is that right, Tom? 11?
Yep.
Man, that's
Yeah, they're on fuego, as we like to say. Ryan from Sask, in regard to the question of the night, which is what grade would you give Jake Wallman in his 12 games as an Oiler? Ryan from Sask says, I would give Wallman an A-. He skates really well, and he's a solid puck mover. I don't think we've seen the best of him yet. The Oilers have yet to find their game since his arrival, and the injuries haven't helped either. But once everyone is slotted appropriately, I think people are going to be happy with the acquisition. Also, this late puck drop is brutal. Likeliness of me making the post game is pretty low. Enjoy the game, boys. Ryan from Sask. Well, Ryan, the good thing is you can always watch it the next day, and you can listen to it in podcast form.
Watch all that.
Yeah. We got you covered.
Breaking news.
Oh.
Sounds like Holloway got hurt.
No, that's not good.
That's what I think Zulu sent that in, and
Shoot.
he's usually not wrong. So,
Well, that's not good. I don't want to see him get hurt.
Of course not.
Come on, man.
Leading that team to the playoffs.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's one of a number of players playing well. Let's see. Dylan Holloway, lower body injury, will not return to tonight's game. That was via the St. Louis Blues on X 1 hour ago.
That's no bueno.
Yeah.
Tom, you want to give a prediction, or you don't do those like Matthew?
No, I'm not a stickler like Matthew. I foresee like a 5-2 Oilers victory. They get an early one, maybe add another one before the end of the first. One more in the second. San Jose gets one like on a power play or something like that. And then the Oilers get another one and another one in the third. And San Jose gets a garbage one in the third as well. 5-2.
I'm going to say 6-1.
I like it. I watched that Kings-Sharks game last Sunday, and they're like...
It was bad.
San Jose had zero chance in that game. The Kings just stomped them, and they kept going and going and going. And I would say that would be the recipe for the Oilers tonight.
I was just going to say that, Tommy, that what Cass said. Like, don't let them off the hook, man. Don't. I thought he made a good point. Maybe you made it. I don't know who made it. One of you made it. Or like guys like Celebrini, Will Smith, like they know where they're at in their season, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
They're young. They're living life. Like they
Playing
want to
with
go
house
out.
money.
They want to go out there and play with house money. They're
Sure.
like, hey, well, we're going to show what we can do.
Yep.
Just give us a little bit and we'll show up. Do you know what I mean? So
I do know what you mean.
you gotta shut that out right away, man. Don't give them anything. But just take them like you're playing the Kings, man. I know it's easier said than done, but just that's the mentality you gotta have.
I get it.
No mercy.
No mercy. And I like that attitude. All right, couple texts to wind things down. Mary says, yes, guys, Holloway left the game. Thank you, Twitter. Mary, good to hear from you. Sean says, Kings 1 goal on 5 shots. Utah 23 shots, no goals. I am shaking in my boots with the thought of playoffs. Sean. Serenity now.
Everybody calm down.
Cole Harbor Joe says, I think we're sleeping on St. Louis in comparison to the 2019 championship. We have seen this before. Cole Harbor Joe also adds, is it the third period yet? 3 weeks till playoff season. Got to toughen up. Good Happy Gilmore reference. And Joel, Joel I'm not even going to read that. Joel, thank you for your texts and your contributions.
Negative.
All right.
Man.
Oh, she's just laying it to us tonight. It's been a fun pregame show. Yes, the late start is ridiculous. We're going to have to get used to it. We're going to be seeing a lot of these to end the regular season and, of course, in the postseason when the Oilers quite likely face the LA Kings in round number 1 again. A big thank you to Curtis Pashalka from the Bay Area News Group, writer for the Mercury News, giving us the insight into the Sharks. San Jose just 3 wins in the last 11, 1 in the last 7. Edmonton looking to stretch this into a 3-game winning streak. Pickard versus Georgi Romanov between the pipes. For Matt Kassian and the Latino Heat, Hernan Salas, I am Tom Gazzola saying good night, everybody. We'll see you on the postgame show.